Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. You're going to find a way to win, or you're going to find a way to lose when you get into that ring. Aussie, 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 oi, 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 the Ausmoan is back. Man, it's just crazy to see how this boxing world works out. Anyway, for those of y'all who are saying, hey, Hood, what are you talking about? Well, this right here, man, you can see, man, it is being mentioned all over the place that Opetaia is defending his ring and Zuffa cruiserweight world titles against Noel Makaelian in the co-main of Ryan Garcia versus Conor Ben. Now, Noel Makaelian, he actually went on, it was supposed to be this guy at first. First it was supposed to be Michael Sislak, but that got changed now. So the bottom line, this is what's supposed to be taking place. And the word on the street is the WBC title is going to be on the line. Now, there are some people who are saying they're not sure if Noel Makaelian is going to be stripped for not fighting as mandatory. I don't know, because some people are saying he is. Makaelian is saying he's planning on defending his title. I'm not really sure. That's as clear as mud on whether that WBC strap is going to be on the line or it's not. But word on the street is, man, there's a contract that was in place for Makaelian and David Benavidez to fight December 12th. So, I don't know what's going on. But what I do know is that these guys are fighting is being announced and they're full steam ahead. Now, the return of Opetaia. He is one of the biggest names in boxing and most respected names, especially when it comes to at the cruiserweight division. We all know when the big Ausmoan gets into that ring, he's gonna show elite footwork, southpaw angles, physical strength, ring IQ, and the willingness to fight injured if he has to, and that was demonstrated in his previous championship performances. But for Opetaia, let me tell you, man, I'm watching him and I almost feel like every fight he's fighting for his career. You know what I mean? Because just the way the sanctioning bodies are doing him and the way his career's kind of gone since he signed with Zuffa. I'm not saying he's not making money. I'm not saying he's not going to thrive, but I just think he's dealing with some, unwarranted anxiety. But it looks like turkey a la chic. When turkey's in the house every day is Thanksgiving. Like he's sorting all that out, you know what I mean? But one thing we know about Opetaia, man, he has the ability to dominate cruiserweight. He has, and I think he will continue. Now, this fight with him and Makaelian, it's full steam ahead. And I'm going to tell you, man, it matters. It matters big time. And I think it's viewed by many as one of the toughest available cruiserweight contests. I mean, Jai gets to fight a champion, defend his ring belt, the Zuffa belt, and hopefully the WBC title's on the line. And he can continue moving a step closer towards becoming undisputed and further cementing his legacy and getting into the Hall of Fame. Now, if the WBC title's not at stake, then, I don't know what to think about that. Because I think when you have titles at stake, I think it clarifies like who's at the top of the division. The bottom line is having a title is a distinction. And the fact that Jai had the IBF belt taken away from him, that hurt him. But now he's fighting Makaelian. If for some reason Makaelian stripped of his WBC title, that hurts Jai because he doesn't have that clarification as being the top guy because he doesn't have the belt. But real boxing fans know that the king of the cruiserweight division is Opetaia. So these sanctioning bodies got to make a formal announcement because that's the one thing that I just don't understand at this point in time. You got Ryan Garcia, WBC champion, fighting Conor Ben, and the title's on the line. So for Opetaia, I don't understand what the issue is, but it looks like there's a 70% chance it will be on the line. But there are still some rumblings out there saying it's not going to be. But for those who are saying, well, why the hell are people even talking about the WBC and Zuffa? WBC made a stance that they're not going to work with Zuffa, and then Zuffa has his belt. What's really going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. It's a good thing. You have increased cooperation between Zuffa and the sanctioning bodies. You know what I'm saying? And I just think there are practical reasons why the organizations, are working together. The sanctioning bodies, they want their titles contested in major events. All promoters want championship fights because they attract more viewers, and broadcasters benefit from recognizable championship stakes. I mean, the Zuffa belt is fairly new, so you talk about, somebody fighting for the Zuffa belt. Yeah, get diehard boxing fans, it rings in our ears. We're like, okay, here we go. But when it comes to the casual, they're like, a what? People know what the hell the WBA is, the WBC is, the WBO and IBF. People are still learning about the Zuffa belt. But for these guys to all come together, I just think it's a win-win, man, because fighters, they seek opportunities because they want to make money. And if you fight somebody from Zuffa, you make some money, but they also want to maximize their legacy as well. You know what I'm saying? So what I just mentioned doesn't necessarily indicate anything, I would say, unusual. Boxing has a long history of promoters and sanctioning bodies collaborating with interests aligned. But you see lately, man, there's just a lot going on. And I personally think it's all about money. That's me. I think it's really about money. And that's why you're seeing some of these fighters being treated a kind of way. Now, why would Zuffa want championship fights after they said, hey, I don't want to work with sanctioning bodies? I think because they're trying to build a long-term platform. And I think even they realize, you know what, if we want to build a long-term platform, championship bouts provide immediate credibility. You know what I'm saying? You want credibility, put on championship fights. Don't just create your own belt and think everybody going to kumbaya and celebrate and pop champagne. That's not how that works. You start having championship fights with those belts people recognize, you're going to attract elite fighters. You're going to increase broadcast value. You're going to create recognizable events. You're going to strengthen the promotion's reputation. And you're going to give fans meaningful title fights. So championships help establish legitimacy for any new boxing promotion, or even the existing boxing promotion. So one thing that I haven't heard much of is the IBF lawsuit. Jai Opetaia has pursued legal action with the IBF. So I know he's pissed because they stripped him. I don't know what all is going on with that. I just know that it was filed. But only the parties involved know what's going on. I would think there'd be some kind of settlement to take place or some kind of conversation, because the shit's kind of stupid to me that they even stripped him. But everybody wants to come out here and make power moves, and flex their muscle, and that's what they're doing. Now, somebody else who he really should be flexing them Viagra's and stop trying to flex his muscle is Don King. I don't know what the hell going on. So that Don King is linked to some legal action against Noel Makaelian's contractual obligation because he signed to fight David Benavidez. Now he's supposed to be fighting Jai Opetaia. And all I was just saying, this shit sounds legally complex, but we know Don King is always in the mix trying to sue somebody, man. But I think ultimately courts or negotiated settlements, not public opinion, will determine whose contractual rights prevail. And Don King is always trying to sue. Hopefully he does not prevail. I wish him nothing but the best of luck. But old man Don King, go sit your ass down somewhere. Because you're creating confusion with all the fans. Fans are frustrated. Everybody wants to see and understand the championship pass. Because right now it's difficult to follow. We don't know what the hell is going on. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear more about potential Opetaia matchups because of his style. We want to believe Benavidez is focused on his own championship path and contractual obligations instead of discussing every possible opponent. Benavidez doesn't say anything about Jai. Jai is very vocal about Benavidez. So I don't know if there's a mutual interest to make that fight from Benavidez to Jai. But I'll tell you what, I don't know why this particular fight hasn't been made yet. I do know you got the people behind the scenes who are having conversations and who are trying to guide their fighters. So it is what it is. But fans want Opetaia versus Benavidez. You know what I mean? Opetaia presents unique challenges for the monster. We know Benavidez is a bad boy. But now he's in it with a southpaw, excellent jab, size, reach, durable chin, high work rate, body attack, technical defense, championship experience. Then you got Benavidez, meanwhile, is known for relentless pressure, combination punching, and volume. So when you bring them together, you get the ultimate mashup, crash-up, and a style contrast. And the matchup is very intriguing on paper. So I'll just say this. The cruiserweight division, they're going into a very important period. You know what I mean? From the championship fights, promotional partnerships, you got legal disputes, major developments that are happening and could reshape the division over the coming years. So the bottom line is us as fans, we just want the best fighting the best, clear championship stakes. And for these guys to hold their horses, stop taking it to the stupid, messing with these guys' careers. You know what I mean? Let them fight for titles, sort everything out and stop with the bullshit. Anyway, the Ausmoan Opetaia is back, looking to see if he's going to be able to do the business and if he's going to get that title. Let's see what the WBC does. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.